disciplines. Disciplines work miracles. Do what you can. If you can read, read. If you can change, change. If you can grow, grow. If you can take one step, take one step. I'm telling you, do not neglect to do whatever you can do, because it'll work miracles. Of personal development first, productivity second. The disciplines that work miracles, here's the real miracle that works so well in Herbalife. Investing life into life. One person's life invested in another. Now we've got the miracle called the new customer. Investing the opportunity idea in someone, telling him the Herbalife opportunity. Now we've got a new distributor. Disciplines create new life by investing one person's life into another person's life. These testimonials of the people in these first 2 or 3 rows gives valid evidence that if you'll take an opportunity like Herbalife, and if you'll start making those personal changes of discipline, personal changes of willingness to learn the skills, personal changes of personality improvement, attitude, all of the rest, with this opportunity, you cannot miss having an extraordinary life and an extraordinary future.
Good evening, Nutrition Club! Please welcome your hosts, President's Team, Grace Tierney and Gavin McDonald!
Say a massive, first of all, welcome to your Active World Team School.
Yeah.
This is the first one that we've ever done. Yeah. And, you know, stood up here looking at you guys, it's quite emotional because 3 years ago, we had our first Nutrition Club Masterclass and there was less people in the whole event than there is tonight that have qualified to be in this Active World Team School.
Amazing.
Boom! So I just want to say massive well done. And what is amazing about every single person in this room, you are 1, in production, and you are 2, you're building royalties.
Amazing.
So well done.
Okay, gang, so who's in the room tonight? So we want to have a little bit of a welcome to everyone. Want to get loose, yeah? Want to get ready to learn for the weekend. So, first of all, could everyone in the room who is a junior partner, please stand up and give yourself a round of applause? Woo! Cliff. All junior partners, let's see you. Okay. Big shout out to the junior partner, massive. Okay, and next, you club owners, let's see it on your feet. Massive round of applause for all you club owners! Yeah! Unbelievable! Okay, and now
this is
we
a
want
special one.
we want to see our rollout team. So what's the rollout team? You've duplicated profitable breakfast budget clubs in your organisation. So guys, if you can stand and have a massive round of applause for you guys!
Woo!
Unbelievable! Fantastic stuff.
Guys, Gav, we can't forget about these special next people.
Well, this is it, you see. So Grace spoke about us in that little room all them years ago. Smaller than this, yeah? But today, we've also got you guys here, but we've also got our guys from all around the world who are tuning in via live stream watching us tonight. So what I want you to do, I want to count to 3. And when I say 3, I want you all to stand up and shout Club 100, yeah? Right at the camera and welcome the guys into the room, okay? Is that okay? Yeah! So 1, 2, 3, Club 100! Yes!
Okay, so are we ready to go? Are we ready to learn? Yes. So guys, this is the vision for 2030. We are going to be filling an arena with 10,000 Breakfast Budget Club attendees delivering a Nutrition Club Masterclass.
Oh, yeah.
How does that sound to you? Let's make it happen.
Okay, guys, so tonight's agenda. What we've got on here, yeah, we're going to show you how to create a supervisor machine that creates royalties with breakfast budget clubs. Who wants to create royalties? Is that it? Just 40? Come on. Who wants to create royalties? It's more like it. You're getting the gist of the game. Okay. Can't hear him. Can't hear me. Oh, 1 minute, there's a mic here. There's one here. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. Am I back now?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
That's the most important thing. Okay, let's crack on.
You just crack on, babe.
Okay, so the agenda tonight, what we're going to be looking at is how to create a supervisor machine that creates royalties with breakfast budget clubs.
Right, gang, can someone give us a mic, a handheld? We can't hear it over here, no? Well, move over there then. Joking.
Isn't this amazing though, because we're all human and it's live?
Okay, let me try this one here. Yeah! Hello? Are we back in the room? Can everyone hear us over this side?
Go.
Okay, amazing. So I think we just blew the roof off that much with that intro. We blew the sound system. That's the type of energy we're creating this weekend, which is unbelievable. Okay, so we want to create royalties, yeah? But we're also going to cover the Nutrition Club career ladder. But we're going to specifically focus on the rollout team, okay? And we're also going to show you how to mentor multiple clubs while staying in personal production to create growth. So guys, you're going to have some handouts in your bags that you got when you registered, okay? So what I'd like you to do is have a look at them at the moment. So So the first one I want to draw your attention to is this one. It's the Nutrition Club key. So basically it's the language that we use, okay? So some of the language might be different to what you've heard in the past. So I'll give you an example. We say pathway. Some people may say flow, yeah? Guys telling the story, guys training of what it actually means, yeah? So you can keep up to date with that one. Okay, brilliant. And you're also going to have this Nutrition Club career ladder. Now, this is a leadership development plan, yeah? Like I mentioned before, we're going to be focusing on the rollout team today, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah, and then I'm going to pass it over to Grace, and she's going to go through the golden nuggets.
In your bags, guys, you have got a golden nugget sheet, yeah? And our job is to use them over the weekend. And, you know, because I remember sitting in events and you'd write War and Peace. Use this and just write key things, certain words that you found, maybe certain language, key individual things that you can take away and put into practice on Monday morning in your club. Don't forget to bring them to every section over the weekend and let your teams know to bring them too.
Okay, so before we get started with today's training, I want to hold this mic up because I don't know whether it's this mic or that mic that you can hear me on. Okay, we're going to tell a little bit about us. So before we get started, I just want to say a massive thank you to the guys on this photograph here, our upline mentors, Lee and Anne-Marie Duffy, and Claire and Dan Fox helping. Thank you for everything you do. But I also want to say a massive heartfelt thank you to all of our team, current, past, and our future team as well, who we haven't even met yet.
So where does it all start? So I've used Herbalife products for, it's coming up to 12 years now, and I've used the products for multiple reasons. But it was only 6 years ago that I looked at the opportunity. So me and Gav had been trying for a baby, we'd had ectopic pregnancies, and we had to go through IVF. And I used the products all the way through for health and wellness. I used the products after my going through IVF and having baby Dylan to get in the best shape of my life, which I've maintained now for 5 years. But it was at that time that I was introduced to the opportunity. Well, I'd been shown it a number of times before, but it was the time that I listened because I was desperate. I was a business development manager for Ford Motor Company, and I found out I was only going to get paid for 6 weeks at 90%, and then I was going to go on to statutory maternity pay. And I don't know if anyone can relate in the room, but there was no way I would have been able to stay off with our baby boy. So I sat down with Claire and I said, I need to earn. And at that time, guys, I had no idea where we would be today. I just wanted to earn an extra £600 so I could stay off a little bit longer with my baby. And then, 35% discount I got to, and I was over the moon. And then the next minute, Claire had been to Ireland to view Nutrition Club. She'd come back, she was super excited. So I went over with Dan and Katie Spall, if you're in the room, Katie. And we went to Nutrition Club in Ireland. So thank you to the Irish, because walking into that room, it was like an energy field. For me, what I seen was people were coming to me because we could leverage our time, but it was the community, it was the love, it was the energy. So we come back, put a plan in place, and we've just continued to fill the funnel since. So I grew my Nutrition Club within Claire and Dan's Nutrition Club, picked it up when it was in profit, and moved it out to our own.
Amazing, Grace. So I was a little bit late to the party. Okay, so that was for both with the products and also the business opportunity. So Grace had been on at me for a while to have a go at the products, but I didn't think I needed to lose any weight. Till we went away for a couple of days and took a few photographs, as you do, and I had my favourite t-shirt on, which was a medium, and I quickly realised I wasn't a medium t-shirt anymore when I got home. So I decided to start on the products and lost a little bit of weight. So I was engaged at that point, and it wasn't long after that Grace took me to my first event. And I was a bit of a skeptic, I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah, so she said to me, come along. She put a T-shirt on me. You can see the picture there with Herbalife 24 on, and pushed me in a room full of really positive people. And let me tell you, I wasn't one of them people at that point, okay? In fact, I don't know whether they're in the room, but there was two guys who did the business, Xander and Mark Stereo, actually done a chest bump in the middle of the auditorium when I walked in, and I said to Grace, listen, I'm leaving. This isn't for me. But she made me stay anyway, and I did. I stayed, but I watched and I listened, and over that weekend I thought to myself, you know what, these are just normal people who've got a dream and are doing something different than anyone else. So when I walked out that auditorium, I was like, you know, there's something to this. So we got to work, but for me, I'd recently I was going through a redundancy, and I'd started my own business up in mortgages as well, around about that time. So I was kind of focusing on that, but while Grace was building in Grassendale with Claire and Dan, I was kind of like an ambassador, which you'll hear about today. I was referring people, getting great results, helping out with inviting and things like that, but I was focusing more on my mortgage business. And as the year rolled on, it's 2019, but middle of 2019, I needed an extra few quid. So what did I do? Can anyone guess what I did? Joined club and started coaching? No. I started driving a van, yeah? And I wasn't very good at it, okay? But I did it anyway because I needed that extra income. And it was, at the time, it seemed like the right thing to do. But I did that for a good 4 months while I was building up my mortgage business, okay? And I got to the point where I didn't have to do that anymore at the beginning of 2020. I built up a nice little nest egg of business that was due to be paid out within the next 6 to 8 weeks, yeah? About £30,000. I'll tell you how much it was, okay? And then something mad happened in the March 2020. I think we all remember that mad time, don't we? And I lost all that money overnight. All my income completely gone. So I was in a position where I had to do something. So then I got to work with Grace during lockdown. And then, yeah, the rest is history.
We were committed to a 10-year plan, and guys, all we've done over this last 6 years is 5 new club members a week, taking every single person through the pathway to supervisor, and we plug into every single training. We are students, student mentality.
Indeed. So guys, these are our figures we've been asked to share with you, okay? So, like we said, all we focused on is 5 a week, taking them, working referrals, taking them through the pathway to supervisor. And guys, we've also qualified for our 5th vacation this year as well, which is absolutely unreal.
And this is what our club looks like at the moment, okay? So we've got 1 junior partner, and our next 2 junior partners are in the event this weekend. They are actively working towards it.
Guys, this is what our organisation looks like now. So a big shout out to all our club owners.
Okay, so we've been asked to show our royalty growth over the past 5 years, taking us from supervisor to president's team. And, you know, when people may look or we speak to people, they always say, you know, but you've just gone, yeah, up and up. But guys, we've had challenges along the way too.
We have.
Yeah, we've had to make sacrifices along the way. And, you know, so Gav, what sort of challenges have we had?
Well, first of all, when you say sacrifices, I like to call them investments, because, you know, you're not really sacrificing anything. You're investing into your future, and, you know, when you invest into your future, it's only a positive thing. But challenge-wise, I mean, for us working together, and you might laugh at that, and I'm not being funny, but, you know, we went from a situation where, you know, we were both up in the morning, we'd leave the house and not see each other for 8 hours, 9 hours, then spend a couple of hours together, and then not see each other. You get the drift, yeah? And then all of a sudden, it was like, hello again, and we were together 24/7, and that's really hard, having that dynamic of being, you know, a partnership in life and also in business as well.
We've got different strengths as well. Sacrifices, but we were committed, yeah, so we wanted to compress time. So for the first 2 years of our journey, we didn't go on holiday because we wanted to move fast. We wanted to build that momentum. And, you know, it's all around mindset for us on working on ourselves daily, because life will blow up, yeah, because we're human. We've got children, we've got family, we've got things that happen in your life, but when you're constantly working on yourself and your mindset, you know, nothing will stop you. We were committed, and we were committed to everything about it.
Exactly that. And, you know, when it comes to mindset, don't forget, we're all independent people as well. Yeah, but we were always still learning. We were always going to events, always plugging into the training structures, reaching out to Claire and Dan, Lee and Anne-Marie. We have multiple chats where we're constantly in there asking questions, trying to find out what, you know, the answer to things that we don't know. Because guess what? We haven't worked that out either yet. None of us have.
We're all still learning. Okay, so what's it done? So this is just a little bit about our lifestyle of what the company have shown us. You know, we've recently been to the Honours, LA, flying business class. 6 years ago, we were counting how much we could spend in Tesco. And I don't say that to say, oh, look at us. I say as it like inspiration, because if we can do it, so can you, but we just need to be committed. So when we look at the vision, so our next step on our vision is we always wanted to create a business with Breakfast Budget Club that unlock all 5 income streams. So we are going to be bringing this picture to life, me and Gav, and this is where we unlock our Mark Hughes bonus. So we are looking to help our guys to become diamonds, to become President's Team members. But long-term vision, what's our vision, Gav?
So this is our long-term vision, guys. Wouldn't it be cool if we could have 10 frontline President's Team profitable breakfast budget clubs in the next 10 years, all the way to Founders Circle? Wouldn't that be cool?
Woo! Okay, so we are going to be going through how to build a supervisor machine that creates royalties with breakfast budget clubs. And these are the six things that we're going to be looking at tonight, okay? So mindset, vision, a vehicle, yeah, so we do Breakfast Budget Club model, the pathway, so this is somewhere that you can take every single person from customer to supervisor. We're going to have a little look at the weekly training structure. And we're also going to be having a look at the career ladder, because this is where the leadership development plan sits. And, you know, we need desire, patience, consistency, and a great work ethic. But what this is going to give us as we go through, it's going to give us clarity on how we can duplicate. So let's start with mindset number 1, okay? And you'll see this across the weekend, amateur versus professional. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you want a retail business, or do you want a academy club which is growing royalties?
Academy club?
Academy club. And
right
this
answer.
is what we're going to go through tonight, and what you set now. Yeah? So if you set your vision on creating an academy club, this is what you'll create, and it'll become your reality. But we need to keep our personal standards high. And this is a long-term plan from 3 to 5 years. And we need to take some responsibility, self-discipline, self-motivation, and most of all, respect. Respect for yourself, respect for the model.
Okay, guys, so also vision, the Herbalife plan. Okay, so what we want to be doing is we want to be building teams of profitable supervisors, okay? So these are just the examples of how many supervisors you're going to need, okay, to move up the marketing plan. And this has come from us tracking over time, okay? So we didn't know this when we started, but by working the machine, we were able to work out roughly how many supervisors we need to move up the marketing plan. So this was really exciting for me. So when we started, our goal was always President's Team at that point, because we just seen that pin. It was like that was the ultimate at the time. And this didn't exist back then. But because we did the tracker with Claire and Dan, Lee and Marie, and we looked at the model, we were able to work out how many clubs we need in order for us to be able to move up that marketing plan. So I just want to run through some of the magic numbers with you, okay? So Club 100, yeah? This is what we want to be aiming for, first and foremost. That's 20,000 organisational volume points in your organisation, yeah? 100 active club members, 3 active supervisors, which are your junior partners, 9 trainee coaches, and that would go to approximately 12 supervisors, which is Get Team, okay? And that's on your first 3 levels. We're all happy with that, yeah? Okay, and the plan, it's a 12-month to a 5-year plan. This isn't going to happen overnight, guys, yeah? You've got to be fully invested, you've got to be in it, yeah? 90-day activation plans, back to back. That's how we've always worked, and that's why we've had success. Yeah, intentions, 3 to 5 new club members a week, moving people through the Nutrition Club pathway, and plugging into your online training structure, and also to your events as well. But you know what really excites me? Back a slide, thank you. You know what really excites me is when you look at this, okay? So, look at that marketing plan, look at your Club 100, yeah? That's you. You've got 3 junior partners. Your junior partners are your new club owners. That's your stepping stone, right? Okay? So, if you help them 3 junior partners open their club, become Club 100, that's 4 club yours, and they're 3. What pin does that give you on there? Millionaire team. Now, that excites me. Does it excite you? Exactly.
Okay, number 3 is the vehicle, and this is our breakfast club model, yeah? And when we have a little look at it, it's a budget club, okay? Low startup costs, club size between 500 to 1,000 square feet, and this can be anywhere. It could be a shop front, ours is in a business centre. You know, it just has to be a room, okay? Average monthly running costs between £450 to £750 maximum per month. I know it does range throughout the UK, depending on where you live. Opening hours, 6 mornings a week, 7 a.m. till 11 a.m. And recommended locations, so, you know, somewhere where there's communities, so if there's a school in the area, if there's supermarkets, houses, hospitals, offices. And guys, this is a daily consumption model. So each customer has a club membership. Their daily membership includes daily weigh-ins, breakfast of an aloe, a tea and a smoothie, a mini coaching session over a food diary. They buy products from home for home use. And most importantly, it's a training ground to develop new trainee coaches and club owners. But guys, the club only has a capacity of 100. So that's where Club 100 comes from. So 100 club members, yeah? And 40% of them club members should be visiting daily. So 40 visits a day. So are we clear on that? When we build Club 100. And when we talked about before of an academy, a club academy, you know, this is what we're talking about. This is a training ground to find and develop club owners. We offer world-class customer service, and it's product and income equals results.
That's the one. Okay, so it's our job. So, sorry, the Nutrition Club pathway. Our goal is to take every customer through, from customer through to supervisor, yeah? Do we all get that? Yeah? Do we all get that? Thank you. Okay, so just click on one more for us. So it's not our job to convince people about the opportunity. It's our job to showcase the opportunity to them and let them choose for themselves. And this is what's going to grow the supervisor machine, which is going to equal your royalties.
And number 5, we need a weekly training structure. So you can see this is just an example of our one. And this is where we plug customers in, and it enables us to help them move through the pathway to supervisor. But it also helps us develop profitable supervisors because, again, we use this training structure to develop as a training ground to develop new leaders, okay, as part of a mentorship program. So what do I mean by that? So, you know, a trainee coach will start by sharing their story on the ambassador call. And then they may start to get involved in Quick Start, taking little product sections on Academy, doing some hot stories before they go on to host the calls themselves. So we use it to develop people, to help them learn new skills and leadership skills. So this is our Breakfast Budget Club career ladder, and this runs alongside the pathway, and this is where we can help every single person to go from club member right through to the rollout team. But it's about building relationships, it's meeting people where they're at, okay, and then nourishing people's potential. And this is our leadership development plan. And this can take 2 years in learning.
Absolutely. Okay, so the key now is we've got the royalty making machine. We all love that, don't we? But we need to make sure if that machine's working, okay? So now I want to show you how you can do that. So here's some more magic numbers around your monthly supervisors. Again, through tracking, yeah? On your 3 levels over 12 months, we've worked out roughly what it's going to take, how many supervisors per month it's going to take for you to move up that marketing plan, okay? So as you can see there, half a supervisor for Active Whale Team, 1 for Get, 2 to 3, Get 2, 5, 4 to 5 for Mill, 6 to 8 for Mill 7, 5, and Pres Team 9 to 12. Okay, next slide, please. So how do you know where you're up to with that?
And we love this day of the month, don't we, Gav?
We do. So how do you know where you're up to with that? Well, as Greg said, we love this time of the month, yeah? Usually around about the same time as your royalties comes out, the 8th or 9th. You can go to the report on BizWorks, which is going to show you exactly how many supervisors you have popped. So this is how you do it. You go to My Herbalife, your little 3 lines in the corner, go to your BizWorks, okay? Then when you go to BizWorks, you go to New Organisation Analysis. Yeah? Next slide, please, Grace. Once you're there, you're going to get this screen here, the first of the 2 screenshots. So the great thing about this is you can view your own supervisors, but you can also look at your teams as well. So you can show this to your leaders and help them grow and develop by using this tool as well. So if you look where it's circled on there, you'll see where it says Lookup Distributor. You can go and put your team's number in there and find what's going on there as well. Yeah, and we always start with the first 3 levels, and you want to be teaching this to your leaders. So we always check 3 levels because 3 levels gives you your growth. But we also want to check all levels as well because this is where you're going to get your sustainability. Yeah? We happy with that?
Brill. Okay, so we've just looked at if your machine is working, so if you're pumping out supervisors the other end. But we need to never forget we are in the game of duplicating profitable breakfast budget clubs. We're always looking for our next club owners. So how do we do that? By taking them through the career ladder. So first of all, let's have a little look at our junior partner business plan. So this is somebody who they are a club owner in the making. Yeah, so they're building their own community within your club in the safety of, it's like a safety net, okay? And when we look at this junior partner business plan, it consists of 30 to 40 club members between you and 3 trainee coaches, yeah? And 2 to 3 active supervisors, so serious trainee coaches. And if we looked at what that looks like on our marketing plan, okay, it's the promotion of Active Whale Team. And this gets our mini club owners creating the right habits and behaviours, ready to graduate and go out and open their club in profit. So let's have a little look at the Club 100, so your club owner's business plan. So there's yourself, 3 junior partners, and Gav covered it before, 100 active club members between the 4 of you, 9 trainee coaches in total, and approximately 12 to 13 supervisors. So that is what you're looking to build. Okay, and then this fits in nicely to going back to this marketing plan, the Breakfast Budget Club marketing plan, what Gav spoke about before, is it enables you to build with intention. Okay, so you're just building mini Club 100s and duplicating them and helping others to be successful too. And we're going to be bringing an incredible lady up to show us what you do when you have more than one club in your organisation. But everything comes down to personal production. You heard us before, 5 new club members a week, taking them through the pathway to supervisor. That was something that me and Gav understood. It was the only thing that we can control.
Absolutely.
We can't control anything else. Bringing them people through enables us to find them next club owners that we are going to help to become profitable breakfast budget clubs. So we're going to spend the weekend sharing our top tips on how to fill a funnel, work and referrals, which will enable you guys to find the next club owners too. And these are just some of our clubs. Massive shout out to you guys. You know, look at the communities that they're building and they are developing as leaders themselves.
Okay, should we get into a little bit of nitty gritty now? We ready for it? Bit of training? Yeah? Okay. So the next section now, we're going to be looking at the Nutrition Club Career Ladder rollout team. Okay? We're also going to be looking at how to mentor multiple clubs while staying in personal production to create growth. And the person who's coming up to do this is an absolute expert in this because she juggles a lot of plates, or whatever you want to call it, spins a lot of plates even. And then we're going to have a little Q&A as well, okay? So before I intro this person, I just want you to take a look at this next slide. Take a look at these figures. Yeah? I'm not going to say any more on it. Just look at them. Okay, so I've been fortunate enough to be with this person right through the journey of breakfast budget clubs, along with Grace. And I've watched them change over time, develop, grow as leaders. But I've watched them give as well, not just to their organisation, but to the country. Yeah? But not just the country, the region. In fact, not just the region, the whole world. Okay? So I want to have a massive round of applause for that. It's really important. Okay. So 6 years ago, this person was mill team with no check, struggling, yeah? Then she went to an event in Seville. And that's the moment everything changed for her and her other half, yeah? At present, they are number 2 in EMEA for Royal and number 15 in the entire world. So please, welcome to the stage, Senior Executive President's Team Member 30K, Claire Fox-Halpin!
Dale di fruta, dale di fruta. They can't, they won't, they never will. Stop the party.
Hey, Gabby!
They can't, they won't,
Drop your weight up.
stop the party.
Hey! Woo!
I say y'all having a good time out there.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Woo! Look at you! my goodness. Okay, Breakfast Budget Club Active World Team School! Okay, no. I think we can make more noise than that because we are making a difference. I want to hear you one more time. Breakfast Budget Club Active World Team School! Don't stop the party! Woo! Okay. That is what we're talking about. Are we ready to learn, Active World Team? Okay, one more time. Are we ready to learn? Okay, so, oh my goodness, that was such a lovely intro. Thank you so much, Grace and Gav. Okay, so, anyone who doesn't know me, my name is Claire. I am one of a couple, a mum and a dad. But you know what? We just want to make a difference. And I'm going to spend, oh my God, Dick, I love you. Lovely to see you. I'm going to spend the next hour just being me, being really open, very transparent, because we just want to help you to grow. So is that okay with everyone? Why am I out of breath? Okay, is that from the arm movement? Yes? Oh my goodness. Woo! Okay, so I'm just going to share, I'm going to be really honest. Normally on the Friday night, we would have junior partner training and club owners. And this is the first time that we raised the bar and we took it to Active World Team. So even if you are a tab team member, we set the bar. And the reason we did that was we feel you are ready for the next level and the next stage in growth. So my question to you is, are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? Okay, amazing. So, as Grace and Gav said, in my section, we're going to split it into two halves. We've got roughly 60 minutes. We're going to spend the first 30 minutes with me. And I'm just going to share, what have been the key things that me and Dan have learned that when we moved into being part of what we call the rollout team, which means duplicating profitable clubs, what was the shift that we started to go through? Mentally and also physically, because there is a shift that you'd have to make. Is everyone okay with that? Yeah? Oh my God, you've all gone dark. Can I see you? The second thing is, the biggest thing that we had to focus on was we wanted to grow and keep growing, which is where we're at now. But it's how do you find that balance between that whole duplicating clubs, your business grows, but how do you stay in production? So I'm going to share tonight what are the 6 key things that we've learned. And then we're going to do the second part of the section where we're going to have a little bit of a Q&A. And listen, on the Q&A, it is going to be an open mic. So we are going to set someone up in the middle. I'm going to open the floor and say, if you have any questions, come to the mic. And by the way, there is no silly question. Because in this room, I want you to all understand, it doesn't matter what level you're at. We're here for one thing, and that is to grow, to learn, and to just get that little bit better every single day. So is that okay with everyone? Okay, amazing. So I am up on Sunday. I'm going to go into my story a little bit more, but I'm just going to consolidate it to reflect what I'm going to talk about tonight. Gav shared 6 years ago, me and Dan were in a place where we'd been millionaire team for a couple of years. We had no check. We were struggling financially. We were back in jobs. And we were trying to keep this Herbalife thing alive. But we never, ever quit. Okay? And we went to an event and everything changed. Our introduction to Herbalife was, I came in first. I was a customer. I was introduced by a friend. He asked me, could he practice a free wellness evaluation? And he'd approached me 6 times before through the business opportunity and I'd turned him down. But only when he changed the invite and said, will you be my guinea pig? I thought, yeah, I'm your mate. I'm your friend. Translation. I'm your friend. Of course I'll do that for you. And that was when everything changed. But we had quick success. It was built on excitement. We had no structure, no pathway how you move people from customer to supervisor. We had no leadership development plan. But you know what? When we first came in, we loved the products. I loved the positivity. Me and Dan could see all these success stories in Herbalife. But when we hit Millionaire Team, the business started to go backwards. And we always say to our team now that in Herbalife, you will have a pin that teaches you lessons. It will school you. For us, it was Millionaire Team. And during that period of time when we had no check and we were struggling and our confidence went and relationships were broken down in our team and we were losing people, it was like everyone we brought in was just like sand falling through our fingers. We say it was the best thing that ever happened to us because it absolutely built us as people. So when we stand here on stage, me and Dan, over this weekend, we made a commitment that when we started to build Breakfast Budget Clubs, only once we had the results, we would share it with people. And we also made the commitment that we'll always tell you the truth. We're very transparent people. We'll share, we'll give you everything. But we can give you everything, but you have to work on yourself to create the success. Does everyone get that? Does everyone get that? Okay. And if someone had said to me 6 years ago, you know, you're going to go to LA and receive a Mark Hughes bonus, I always thought it was like something that other people did. And I always used to think, how did they do that? And we collected our first bonus 2 years ago. And honestly, I brought it home to my mum and dad, who were really good people. They're just working class people. They're amazing. They're gorgeous people. And I showed my mum and I was like, Mum, look. Because she's seen the hard times. She's seen the hard times. And I was like, look what we've done, what we've achieved. And she goes, that's a nice certificate, love. And I thought, do you know what? My mum and dad have no idea. But what's amazing is I'm going to look after my mum and dad. That's what I'm going to do. And this year, we were able to go back to LA. And if getting a Mark Hughes bonus wasn't amazing enough, I'm so grateful to see your best friends on your front line collect their first Mark Hughes bonus. Tops everything. So massive round of applause to Lee and Anne-Marie Duffy. So I've been asked to show our stats. This is our last 90 days. Okay, you're going to see this across the whole weekend from every speaker. So for me and Dan, we are still in production 100%. When I go home on Monday and when Dan does, my identity when I go back in is we are wellness coaches looking for our next club owner. This is what the supervisor machine is producing at the moment, but never ever lose sight. We are in the game of finding club owners. All good with that? This is what our club looks like at the moment, and we have a brand new junior partner with us this weekend, and we have 2 more who are going to be promoted, who are in the room as well. But as Gav said, this is when everything changed for us. I went to an event in Seville in 2018, and this picture that you see with me in the grey coat is a person who is absolutely broken. And the person who held me up in that meeting is a lady called Carol Sinfield. We had no money. I'd actually had to swap shifts around. I was back in a job to release the time to be able to go. And in Herbalife, there will people who will believe in you more than you believe in yourself at times. And I'm so grateful she's in the room. Give her a cheer, because if Carol wouldn't have paid for our hotel room and took me to that meeting, none of you would be here and neither would us. So never ever forget that. Thank you, Carol. So we came back from that event, and at that event we seen this amazing lady, and she started talking about building a business around nutrition clubs that had growth and sustainability. And she spoke about building it with a purpose, and I thought, oh my God, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted of my check going up and down, me and Dan, seeing what it did to our team. If I could build something with Dan that was purpose-driven, that had structure, that had growth and sustainability, I'm all ears. Because at that point, we were open 100% to learn. And we came back from that event and we did our research. 6 months, we looked at everything we could find to do with nutrition clubs. Who were the most successful people in the world? Who were the leaders? What was the different type of clubs that were available? And what was best suited to us? What did we want to bring to the UK? And if it wasn't for the Irish opening their doors, we would never have that opportunity. So thank you so much. But the difference was for us is when we came back and we spoke to our upline mentor, Nick Jarvis, about going again, because at that point we'd massively stepped back. Nick held the mirror up and he said, Claire, Dan, if you're serious about building a business this time that has huge royalty growth and you can take people with you and produce leaders, you've got to make a decision. Are you going to build this business amateur? Or are you going to build it as professionals? And we'd spent years in Herbalife building it as amateurs. In our jobs, we were professionals. We were great at what we did. We were very ambitious and we were hardworking. So in our jobs, we had that professional mindset. But we'd always struggled to bring that into Herbalife. We never quite could do it until we discovered nutrition clubs. And when we started to make that switch in our mindset of, okay, we're going to build this like professionals, commit to a 10-year plan, but we're going to build a business, let's set the intention that unlocks all 5 income streams, not a retail business, not a business that just produces royalties, but we want to make sure that we are duplicating strong so we can open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who would like to open 5 income streams? Okay, absolutely. And we started to play around with, what's our mission? And I remember me and Dan laughing about this. Dan was like, well, if we're going to be professional, we need a mission. Every professional company has a mission. And we were like, okay, wouldn't it be cool if we could help 10,000 people to get healthier? And then we started to go, well, okay, we've got the mission. Now, how are we going to do that? How are we going to bring it to life? And at this point, we'd let go of the pin. We'd let go that we had to empty millionaire team pin, and we'd gone back to supervisor mentality, which meant we were playful. We let go of expectation of ourselves, and we decided to just roll with it and become students. And we started to look at, okay, wouldn't it be cool if we could build a business and create 100 profitable breakfast budget clubs, each with 100 customers in? And we were like, oh my God, that would be amazing. And then Dan was like, and Claire, what we want to do is create strong leaders. And I was like, oh my goodness, let's go for it. I mean, I was just excited out of my knickers because I just thought we're going to have loads of fun and we're going to learn. We were absolutely made up. But then as our journey's gone on and we've grown the last 6 years, we've had to make shifts. And this is what I'm going to talk about tonight. So put your hands up in the room if you are brand new Active World team, maybe in the last 12 months. Let me see you put your hand up. Okay, don't be shy. Okay, amazing. Amazing. Okay, well done. Congratulations. Now, at this moment in time, some of you are going to be sitting in the room and you're going to be around Active World Team with a royalty in that position. So you've got the production going on, you're filling the funnel, and you've got royalties coming through. And what we want to do this weekend is shift you guys to become Tab team members, Get team members. Does everyone get that? Yes or no? Okay. But then the next phase is to move beyond Get team and keep going up the marketing plan. You've got to be able to stay in production, bringing new people in. With me? I can't see nodding. Are you with me? Yes, okay. And then you've got to duplicate strong clubs out the other end. And when you see the career ladder, I love this when I first seen it. By the way, we did not invent the Nutrition Club career ladder. We adopted it from other regions, but we've developed it, which you'll learn about this weekend. But one thing that we identified was it was okay going to club owner, but we needed a next level, which we called the rollout team, because the difference between being a club owner and then rolling clubs out, you've got to shift. And one of the biggest challenges that we had was when you're in production and you're in your clubs and you're filling the funnel, bringing 5 new people in a week, on a daily basis, you have to go up and down in your mindset in what we call the Nutrition Club elevator. So you've got to go from 1 minute being a trainee coach or a junior partner or a club owner, filling the funnel, inviting, doing free wellness evaluations, follow-up and results, doing 2-week reviews, moving people onto the ambassador call to look at the opportunity, then activating trainees and duplicating clubs. Sometimes you have to go through them different identities in one day, maybe in 1 hour. Trust me, when you get into the game, and your work and referrals and your club is moving, you've got to go up and down. And for me, this was the hardest shift because I'm a doer. Okay? And what I mean by that is I've always built Herbalife or in my jobs through me doing personality driven. Can anyone relate to this? So if you say to me, okay, Claire, you need to do A, B, C to get this result. I'm all in. But it's me. It's personality driven. And what we noticed was, and Dan was a lot different to me, you'll hear his story on Sunday, from us being a club owner in our first club, Grassendale, to then duplicating, we had to shift mentally. And this is what I'm going to touch on tonight. So this weekend, you're going to get loads of technical stuff, but in my section, I'm going to talk about the mental shift. Is that okay with everyone? And if you haven't read this book, someone really close to our hearts gave us this when we had club number 1. And I remember reading it with Dan, and I was like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck mentally because right at this moment in time, what I'm doing every day and where my head is a really good club owner. And I can probably pop out 2 to 3 clubs. And if I'm really clever and personality driven, I can probably with Dan get to club 5 or 6. But to get to Pres Team and beyond, we've got to shift, we've got to think different, and we've got to do different. And the first place it's got to start is in our head. And what I started to realise, and so did Dan, was it was down to us understanding that no matter how many clubs we had, or no matter where our level was on the marketing plan, we had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. We had to get comfortable at dropping our mask and being students, no matter what the results were. Because if we didn't show people that we were able to get uncomfortable, to ask questions, to grow, to step out of our comfort zone, then people wouldn't follow us. When you are a leader who is frightened to drop, you create that culture in your group. And we'd done this for years and got maxed out at Mill Team and it went backwards. Because your business will teach you where your mindset is. So for me on this, getting uncomfortable and really working on our mindset, number one, we had to understand that we were students, no matter how many clubs we were duplicating, no matter how big our royalty became, if we wanted to keep growing and create a culture that gave our organisation, our club owners, permission to keep learning, to ask questions, to grow, we had to give them the invitation through us. Does everyone get that? And the biggest shift was our identity from Beard. We are academies. Our club is a funnel to find club owners, not just to retail products. Are you all still with me? Okay, you all looking very serious. Are you all still with me? Okay. Now, the second thing was, when we first started, we had a vision. And do you know what? It felt really good, because for a long time, we had no vision. We were sitting in someone else's vision all the time. And when we first started to set the vision, we started to see it clearly. How could we move up the marketing plan? How many clubs? But the biggest thing was being able to show that to someone. When you show someone exactly what they need to do, if they're willing to work on themselves and work hard, you start to influence people to move with you. But what we noticed was, as our vision started to grow and expand, more people wanted to come with us. So we started to play around with what was our original vision, maybe in the first 1 to 3 years. But our vision then started to grow as we got clarity. And this is what I would say to you is, when you first get involved, some of you will be sitting here right now because you'll have stepped into your uplines vision. Do you get that? You're here because someone you seen, you stepped into their vision. They influenced you to take action. You were inspired, you were motivated, you wanted to be a part of that. But what you need to then move into is, what's your own personal vision? Yes, you stay in your uplines movement. But if you really want to grow and be limitless and go beyond, you have to start to construct your own vision. And then it comes back to your first line. Because when you first set the vision, you'll start to go, okay, let's say I want to get to Pres Team. I want 10 profitable clubs. Are you all with me? Yeah? But then it's looking at, okay, well, let's look at the strength of the business. Let's unlock all the income streams, which is putting diamonds on your front line. And this is what I would say to you, and write this down. How many first frontline profitable clubs are you going to create? Write it down. And then the next question I would say to you is, why is this important? Well, if we want to build a business that has growth and sustainability, you need leaders in your organisation. But not only that, if you have a first line vision, you stay in production. You stay in production, and when you're in production, you have energy. You also as well have confidence. It gives you clarity and people follow you. Because in nutrition clubs, and I'll always be transparent, you can't fake it. Nutrition clubs, if you're not in the game and you're trying to lead people, it's a hard job. Because you only relate to the emotional cycle up and down, the experience, the knowledge through doing. Does everyone get that? Thank you, Alfie. Does anyone else apart from Alfie get that? Okay. Now, the third thing is, and I learned this the hard way, was we had to learn communication. And with the model, I want you to just think about this. Everyone has the model, the blueprint of Breakfast Budget Club. We've shared the pathway, how you move someone from customer to supervisor. We've shared what a weekly training structure looks like to develop people and move them through. We've shared the career ladder. How do you duplicate clubs and develop leaders? And we've all got the same marketing plan. And we've all got the same products. Is everyone with me on that? Yes. But the difference will be is how you communicate to people. So if we look at 2 examples, let's say, for example, Organisation Business 1 and Business 2, they both have the same blueprint. They both know the magic numbers. They both stay in production, 5 new people a week coming into their funnel. What's the difference between the progression of where they go? How they communicate with people. And for me, I used to talk to people the same way. Come on, let's go, woo! And people would be following me. But not everyone is like that. And when I learned that I had to shift, and Dan had to shift, and we started to look at what did we need to learn about communication to be able to influence people, but most of all, connect and get the best out of people. And it was a book called Colour Personalities. And I'm not going to train on this tonight, but if you haven't read this or studying it, my advice will be, is study it. Because what Colour Personalities will teach you is how to connect with multiple personalities, different ways of communicating, and will help you to move people through the career ladder. It'll also give you a good giggle as well. Because when you read it, you will think you're a different colour. You'll be like, I'm a yellow. And a yellow personality is someone who's like, hugs. They love everyone. Oh, you're amazing, yeah. Touch, yeah. They're really, really soft and gentle. When really in clubs, everyone's got yellow in them because we love community. But when you understand that there's blue personalities who are fun and everything's exciting, and the red personalities are people who are highly driven, they want to be the best. They love targets, they love recognition. Let's go, chip chap, yeah? When you understand what people are and what your colour is, you talk to them in colours. Is everyone getting this? And this is funny because when I look back to our early days when we were stuck as a retail club, I talked to everyone like a red. I was red all over. And I used to wonder why no one wanted to open a club. I used to wonder why our business was stuck until I learned this. But then number 4 was the biggest shift. It was when we started to duplicate, how do you compress time? So put your hand up. Whoever feels like there's not enough hours in the day. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being so honest, because I thought it was me when I first started. Because we front load our day. But as we started duplicating, I was like, oh my goodness, I've got to do inviting. I'm in club 7 till 11. Oh my goodness, I've got a new trainee coach. I've got to do tell, show, try, do. Oh my goodness, I've got to activate someone. Oh my goodness, now I've been invited onto the committee. Oh my goodness, now via Manny, what a bit of me time. And I was like, I was so overwhelmed. And what I realized was I wasn't shifting to learn new skills to compress time. It was the biggest thing for me personally that I had to work on. By the way, plus I was a mum, plus I was a wife, plus I was a friend. Yeah? So I read a book called Atomic Habits, and it taught me about habit stacking. And this is what I would say is the biggest shift between the people who are able to stay in production, stay in a sense of calm, and make sure they keep growing, is learning to habit stack. And what I mean by that, has anyone heard of habit stacking? Is, let's say, for example, you've got club owners that you are mentoring and you have a monthly catch-up call. Are you still with me, Teresa? Okay. I used to go in club in the morning and then book my whole afternoon out and evening with back-to-back Zooms. I was the Zoom queen. I mean, I thought I was a professional Zoomer at one point. I completely even lost my identity. And then I read this book and I was like, habit stack. So for me, I know that I drive a lot in the car. So I started when I was driving, doing my calls in the car, because it was one habit connected to the other. Then I started to look at, for example, anything that I could do 2 at 1. So if I was listening in on a Zoom call, yes, I was present, but I would be doing something else. Does everyone get this? And all of a sudden, these activities that you're doing, you start to compress them. Because when you don't understand habit stacking and you get overwhelmed when you're trying to grow your business and you're trying to look for club owners and you're trying to, mentor your trainees and you're trying to invite and your mentor's saying you keep filling the funnel and you're like, there's not enough hours in the day, you start to procrastinate. Can anyone relate to this, or is it just me? Okay, thank you. So habit stacking was a big shift. And then the biggest shift for me was learning to empower people. Because if you don't learn to empower people and give them the space to grow and try new things and fall, pick them up, rub the knees, give them a hug and then slide them along again, you become the fountain of knowledge, you become your business, and you will become limited at what you can achieve. That was a huge breakthrough for me. Yeah, you can clap for that. It took me a long time. And then we started to look at, okay, well, if we can learn to communicate better, shift in the mindset that I need to become someone else, I need to skill up on habit stack and organising my time, prioritising, then I can keep filling the funnel, doing the basics over and over. And this is what I will say to you. If you want to grow in breakfast budget clubs, you don't need to be anything special. The minute you think you're special and you stop learning, you're going to get stuck. The most important thing to move up the marketing plan is remaining every single day, because we're a customer funnel. Being humble, your superpower is being normal and finding new people. That's when you become limitless in Breakfast Budget Club. Okay. So then let's look at mentoring. And this was a big thing for me and Dan, because when we had a couple of clubs and we were helping support people, again, it comes back to time. We had to start really thinking about being effective when we were mentoring our club owners. So we started to look at doing monthly catch-ups. Okay, you might want to write this down, and you're going to hear people talk about this over the weekend. And a monthly catch-up with our club owners, by the way, we never chase. We never chase, okay? We put the invitation out there, and it might be a 15-minute chat. And before the call, we'll ask people, what would you like to get out of the chat? We also as well ask them to fill out trackers, because I don't know how to mentor people who don't have numbers. Does everyone get that? Yes. This is so important, because you're looking for the people who really are serious and want change, and you've got to find the tracking way that works for you. Because when you start to track, you start to identify, okay, what's going well on the pathway? Where am I going well? What am I doing good? But where are the blockages? Where do I need to set my intention for this month? And I can't help a club owner with that unless I see numbers. This is so important. The next thing is as well, is working, whether it's with your upline, or if your upline's not in Breakfast Budget Clubs, doing it with a buddy. And I got this from Lee Duffy. Thanks for this, Lee. Is buddy up and work together, asking questions. Okay, what's gone well this month? Where are your strengths? Where are your blockages? Because when you're in that mode of tracking, every blockage or every difficult thing that you have to work through is a growth spot. You don't create growth by not getting stuck. So it's understanding, going back to that mentality again, that mindset I spoke about at the beginning. I'm 30k, but I still want to grow. And I understand there's still going to be points that's going to be blocked for me and Dan that we've got to work through. So we track our business. Now I want you to look at this. And this is a tracker that we use. And who was at the last event, the last Breakfast Budget Club event? Okay. So you'll have heard me say this, but I'm going to deliver on this. After this event, we're going to do a follow-on Zoom call all around tracking. Because in the event, it's not something we can cover because there's multiple trackers. Would that be helpful? Okay, so I need you to just go with me on this bit that I'm going to talk about. This, are you happy, Manny? Okay, this is a club owner tracker. And when we're mentoring our club owners, we ask them to fill this out before we have a chat and send it in. And the reason we want them to fill it out is we want to make sure when we spend time with them, we can look at what's going well in order to create that Club 100. Because the tracker is showing what you're creating to the diagram. Everyone with me on that? Yeah? So it helps us look at, okay, where are they doing well? Where are they getting blocked? Okay, Alfie, this month, let's focus on this bit. Now, it could be, for example, when we start to look at, say, the club owners tracker, let's say they're filling the funnel, bringing new people in, but we identify they've got a blockage, they're not getting junior partners, they've got a retail club. What are we going to do about that? Where are they getting stuck? Is it, for example, they're so busy in club, doing an amazing job, but their club is chocker, really full. Anyone doesn't understand that? That they're not working with intention to approach people and have conversations and say, Chris, oh my goodness, you've got an amazing result. I would love you in my team and I'm looking for new trainee coaches. Is this something you'd be interested in? You'd be amazing. Let's grab a thermo and have a chat. Or you've got Vi who hates a job. And I say to Vi, I've built a relationship. She doesn't, by the way, but I've built a relationship with her. And I say, Vi, do you know what? We're looking for club owners who want to work 5 to 6 mornings a week to start, 7 till maybe 11 a.m., who earn X amount. I'm not sure if I can say it. So as a guide through really hard work, £3,000 to £7,000 a month. Legal. Hope that's okay. Yeah? And I work with intention. But if I'm not tracking, or the person's not tracking when they come in, give that a round of applause. If we're not tracking, I can't work effectively. And when people aren't working effectively, they get frustrated, they get disheartened. The partner starts saying to them, you're in club every single day, nothing's even happening. I don't see you. And then the club owner's like, oh my God, this isn't working. I've been doing this for 2 years. So it's important around tracking the numbers because we want to help people to move. And Grace and Gav spoke about this before, and I want to try and help some people in the room. This was a game changer for us because we could see if our business was producing X amount of new supervisors, because supervisors creates what? Royalty growth, yeah? But they've got to be happy, successful supervisors. But when we did this, we were like, okay, we can test, is the machine working? But this was the other shift. In the first 2 years, we had a mill team business that was broken. Okay? So mill team was like 4,000 royalties, but our royalties were down to 2,500. And I'm just going to use me as an example, me and Dan, let's say in today's present day. So let's say we're a mill team pin, but our business before clubs, and it's gone down to 2,500. Are you all with me? And when you see this, you look at it, you go, okay, well, my next step is I want to get to mill 7.5. We need to be bringing through 6 to 8 new supervisors every single month, at least for 12 months. And supervisors are coming through, but you're losing people of your old business because they're not really connected. Are you still with me? So you're bringing these new people in and birthing new supervisors, but you've got a big hole in your business and the old business is starting to go down. So as the new ones come in, your royalties aren't growing. And I've been there. And it's hard because you get frustrated. So I want you to flip it because this really was a shift for us. If I said to you, okay, if if you want to grow your business by 1,000 royalty in the next 12 months, would you be happy with that? Okay, Active World team, or even Get team, if you grew by another 1,000 to 1,000 royalty, would you be happy with that? Yeah? So if I said to you, well, if you brought through, if you were filling the funnel, following everything these guys are going to teach you all weekend, and you were popping one new supervisor every month consistently for a year, your royalties this time next year will be up either 1,000 royalties, or if you're popping 2 to 3 supervisors every month for 12 months, and let's say, Dan, your royalty this time next year is going to be 2,500 more. Would you be happy with that? Okay, and this is called forecasting. And this is where it gets exciting, because if you want your check to grow, you can use these magic numbers through commitment and hard work, filling the funnel, to forecast your growth in 12 months, 24 months, whatever. That, guys, is when you start to shift from amateur to professional. And then this is how I'm going to close you out. The mindset is, yet you want supervisors, but we're in the game of duplicating clubs. Because someone passed the message to you, someone shared it. So what I'm going to say to you this weekend is, you're going to get loads of detail. You're going to hear loads of story. We're going to tell you what to say, how to say it, which is amazing. And you need that. But be clear what you want to create. Think about where you were 24 hours before you found Herbalife. Where was you? How did you feel? What was your physical result like? What was your mental result? And remember, we have the gift to pass on. And you're going to go on a range of emotions on this journey. And if you don't, you're full of crap. I'm sorry, I'm just saying it. Like, if you don't do this with your emotions, then you're either a robot, yeah, or you're not being your true self. And I'm here to tell you it's normal. It doesn't matter what your pin is. It doesn't matter what your level is. The leaders know this at the front. We're human beings, but you're meant to go up and down. It's normal. But the key thing to remember is, you're not on your own. Because if we commit to this big global movement, which is, we're going to take Breakfast Budget Club for those who want to step into it around the world, city by city, country by country, helping one person at a time. Okay. So, Active World Team School, are you still with us? Okay, guys at the back, can I have the clock to show what time we've got left? So, what we're going to do now, this second half, is we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A, okay? And this is me being very transparent with you now as the leadership. Is that okay with everyone? So, over the last 3 years since we've been doing the masterclasses, we've been getting lots and lots of questions. And we'll always open our hearts to you and try and answer as many as we can. But sometimes it can be hard, and we try and answer them through the masterclasses. But we thought in our first Active World Team School, we'd do it a little bit different. And we thought we'll invite some of the leaders up. We're going to have an open mic, which is in the middle. And if I can ask Leanne Marie Duffy, okay, to come up, Executive President Team 20K, and my husband, my best friend, superstar, Dan Halpin, come up. Tune. Your tune. Come there. Okay, so we're going to get some stools. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A. The guys are going to take a seat. And I want you to start thinking, and here's the first thing I want you to think about. This room, we're all here to learn. Everyone agree with that? Can we have some lights, please, just so we can see the audience? So we're all here to learn. And in these next, let's say, 20 to 30 minutes, we're going to open the mic and we want to give you all an opportunity to ask these guys anything you want around growing your business. Ideally, maybe you want to progress your business through the rollout team, but what are your challenges that you're having? Now, if we find that there's some stuff we will cover over the weekend that you're asking questions about, we will say that. Is that okay with everyone? So I want you to come forward. If there's anything at all, let's hear, where do you need help with regards to duplicating clubs and maybe mentoring them? Guys, anyone who's got a question, can we have some music? Can you start to form a line in the middle of the room, just at the microphone? Guys, can we have some music?
We've got 1, 2.
Oh,
The mic's too high.
the mic's too high. Or Val's too
Val,
short.
you've just-
Val needs a stool.
Ali shrinking.
Okay, now, this is important. As we go through, questions might come up for you, so don't be shy. Okay, this is your opportunity to absolutely ask these guys anything that you want. So, are we ready to kick it off? Yeah? Okay, give them a cheer, by the way, because they've got courage. Yeah?
Be kind.
Yes, be kind to them. So, first question, tell us your name.
My name's Val Balfour.
Okay, and how long have you been in the business?
I have been using the products for 10 years. I've been in a nutrition club nearly 5 years.
Okay, and where are you, Val, on the career ladder? Do you mind me asking?
Get to 5.
Okay, amazing. And have you started to duplicate clubs?
Yes.
I knew that, by the way, because she's in our org. Just testing. Okay, so Val, can you ask the question and then we'll see who's going to have a go at answering it?
Okay, so this is kind of covering point 5 mentoring skills that you've just gone through, Claire. We all love a checklist in Nutrition Club. So I would personally love a checklist that I could use with my club owners when I'm mentoring them on a month-to-month basis to help them grow through their journey. Is there anything like this on the pipeline? And I'm going to ask this to Anne-Marie because you love a checklist. And I'm just going to pass that on. No. I mean, with regards to... Thanks, Val, for this question. I'll remember this, by the way, when I'm mentoring you.
With your checklist.
Yeah, I think, in all honesty, I think it depends on where the club owner is up to in their journey with their clubs and what their business looks like. So definitely, like, we've got to use trackers to be able to see where the individual has blockages in. But I think having a specific checklist on what you would mentor them with, I actually think it just depends on the trackers and what blockages are coming up, and then being able to work out, okay, what steps can we put in place to be able to mentor you to unblock the blockage? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I add into that?
Yeah, of course.
So for the guys listening in the room, because we're fortunate enough, we've been doing this a little bit longer, and I wonder if this will help, but just share, like, what are the types of things that you would ask your club owner to bring to a one-to-one, or what are the type of things you would do with them? Do you mind sharing stuff? Do you want to have a little go with that?
We'll always begin with the end in mind. So we'll first off ask the question of, okay, what's the goal? What is the long-term goal? And then we would literally just work our way through the trackers anyway. So pathway tracker and then the club owners tracker. But do you mean like certain questions to ask as you're going through? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, things that we could cover, because we've got like the trainee file and then we've got a JP file, and it's almost something extra, you know, for when we're club owners, and that we can follow.
Yeah.
Like the next level.
I think
Probably something you could have a chat about.
I think the beauty of what we're doing is when we started, it was like, you know, fill the club, and then we realised we had a blockage, and then all of a sudden the career ladder emerged, and then clarity came. So I think there is something there, Val, because I think there should be something not too technical, but something to guide people.
Yeah.
So what I'd like you to do, Valerie, is...
What's Val just done? Volunteered herself to create a checklist. Would you enjoy that?
Congratulations.
That's a good point.
Okay.
Great question, Val.
Yeah, okay. So anyone who's in our group, that's all we do.
My queue is going to get killed if you give them all homework, by the way.
Okay. Okay, next one, let's go. Did that help everyone? Yes? Okay.
Hi.
Name?
Laura Preston.
How long have you been in the business?
A decade.
And where are you on the career ladder?
Global Expansion Team 2.5.
Okay, and if I was to say to you on the career ladder, are you in club owner or are you part of rollout team yet?
The rollout team.
Okay, amazing. Well done. What's your question?
So we've got gorgeous, amazing club owners. How can we, or how can I, help them really believe that they can be part of the club rollout team? How can they have clarity and that real confidence that it's for them as well as everyone else?
So just to clarify, does that mean you've got club owners at the moment, but they're not yet duplicating clubs?
Absolutely, and I think the blockage is here.
Ah, okay. So, Duff, want to have a little go with that?
Are you having regular calls with them, going through the trackers?
Yeah, every month we have a club success call or chat.
Okay.
We go through intentions, etc.
And are you looking at their circles as well?
Yeah, and I think, I don't know if it's whether they just believe that they're worthy of it and that they are absolutely capable. Where can I direct them?
So they need to take their focus off them and have the focus on the people in their club. Does that make sense? So have the focus on nourishing the potential of the people that they've got.
Yeah.
So it's not about them. It's about what they can help the people achieve. So it's a mindset thing, but I'd also as well be looking to see how many referrals that they're getting. The reason why I mentioned the circles is you want to be looking at clusters. Oh, that translates, okay. So, you know, collectives of referrals of people going levels deep and then having conversations. Maybe you might need to help them have those conversations. Maybe it may need a conversation where you arrange a call with them, or if the local, you could pop in, identify them, pay them a few compliments, you know. Tell, show, try, do.
Perfect. Thank you.
Laura,
Yeah.
may I ask permission to ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. By the way, we've known each other a long time. If I was to say to you, okay, maybe what do you think? What have you learned from this? What would you do maybe a little bit different? What would flag up for you?
Do you mean my own journey or about?
Yeah, so obviously you've got these club owners, but they're not duplicating. Why do you think that is? And what would you maybe do different in the initial nurturing phase?
I think reflecting, because all the clubs have come out of our club, I feel that I was being old teacher Laura and kind of overstepping, or maybe having those conversations for them rather than with them. And I think this year, for myself, and I hope the girls would agree, I'm trying to get them to come up with the answers and them to identify them, and trying to step back a little bit. And maybe we're on track. Maybe we've just got this lag, you know, what you do in 90 days, etc. Well, I'm trying to step back and help them do it and empower them. Maybe that's it.
Colour personalities exercise, going through the team.
Yeah.
Looking at how to communicate with those people.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan.
I don't know, you've fallen into manager mode.
Yeah.
And I think, I always say to anyone in this business, taking action cures everything. And you've got to meet people where they're at. And I think people are at where they're at for their own personal reasons. So what you've got to do is find, I guess, new people and then learn from what you've learned, but set the intention with they're part of a bigger mission to come through the different stages to become a club owner and then to join the rollout team. So I think while you're looking at them, Laura, I mean this respectfully, you need to look at yourself, lovely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Can I just add something on that as well? Because we've learned this lots, is when you've got people who aren't duplicating, and we all experience that, and we even experience ourselves. Sometimes it's looking at two things, isn't it? It's looking at, okay, how many new people are they bringing in? What's their own customer base look like? Are they filling the funnel? And then also looking at, because sometimes they just might not be bringing in enough new people to find the club owner or the JP trainee. Or it could be their club's so full, they're so in manic mode every single day doing the visits, they can't even think about intentionally having a conversation with someone around the table about becoming a trainee or a junior partner or a club owner. Can anyone relate to that? So it is sometimes looking at, where is the blockage? Is it their own activity, they just haven't got enough people? Or is it their manic mode and they've got to take a step back and work with intention?
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah. Amazing. Well done. Okay, Kathy. Kathy, we love you.
Bonjour, Cathy. Ça va?
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Je suis Cathy Muller, je viens de France. I'm president team, 30 years in a business, 2 years in a budget club. And I have my question, like always.
You've got a pad.
But I have only one to ask you. You said no stupid questions, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Hang on. What's this?
No. First time I realized that in our training structure, we only had one ambassador call a week and one quick start a week, and you have 2. I know this in my head, but first time I realized we don't have 2 every week in reality. So my question is, do you think it makes a really difference to have 2 ambassador call a week and 2 quick start a week, or one is enough, and why?
I'll answer that. I remember when we started, I used to do the ambassador calls because I hated the quick start. I did a quick start once with one person. And I think I've never seen them again, so that's normal. So when we started, you'll see the structure and you think, oh my God, 2 ambassadors, training in the week, and then, the 2 quick starts. But when Claire and I started, I did the ambassador on a Monday, and Claire did the quick start. I don't know, was it a Sunday at the time? I could be wrong, only because we were working. And to answer your question, Cathy, I think you'll know when you're ready for 2. We started getting so busy on the Monday, we thought, well, we actually need another one now. So it evolved, is what I'm trying to say to you. And just to give you guys an idea, I'd say we're averaging about, on our ambassador calls, just to give you an idea, of about 80 to 100 people on a Monday and, shall we say, on the Thursday, okay? So obviously when we started getting from 10 to 20, that's like a trigger to say, okay, let's put another one on. And then it's an opportunity to bring people through.
Duff, yeah.
I think what I would say is, if you can have 2, you can get people onto a call quicker.
Yeah.
But providing you've got the people in your team to deliver it. So the way we work it, every other week someone delivers the ambassador call. So we have 2 people doing the Monday night. So 1 week, one person. 1 week I'll do it. Next week Dan will do it. So it's like a rolling. So it takes the pressure off the people delivering because they need to focus on the business. So that for me, if you are able to put 2, do it. But only if you've got the manpower, woman power, people to do it. Okay. That's what I'd say.
I think we have people who can do it, but they don't want to do it. So team in France, think about it and we'll speak on Monday.
But you know what, Cathy? That also gives, you're also developing leaders then.
Yeah.
Because those people get to learn to deliver, and they'll develop skills. Yeah. And that's a key part of it as well. So people our team do that for a few months, and then we bring new people through. So it improves everyone's confidence as well. Anne-Marie.
Thank you, like always.
Oh, you're welcome. Well done for coming up as well. Okay, next one. What's your name and where are you on the career ladder?
Okay, Joanne Brittles, and I'm Get 2 Pi.
And what position on the career ladder?
Oh, sorry, rollout team.
Go on, what's your question, Joe?
Okay, so when you're doing your club owner workshops, what type of material would you be trying to help them to develop? Would you go through the 8 core skills and elaborate them, or would you include other bits of training?
So just to clarify, when you say club owners workshops, do you mean that when you get some of your club owners together, either face-to-face or on Zoom, and you're doing a little bit of training? Okay, Anne-Marie, do you want to have a go with that?
For me, it's all around the 8 core skills, to be honest, because it's all, as club owners, we never want to lose the basics, do we? We always want to keep going back to the basics. And I think sometimes what can happen is we do the 8 core skills as junior partners, but what we don't realise is that we're doing them consistently all the time as club owners as well. So not everyone has mastered the 8 core skills ever. So for me, it's talking to your club owners and then going, okay, say like I identified our club owners were all having some issues, say around the pathway tracker or a 90-day lead generation timetable. So then when we got together, that's what the workshop would be around, for us to, like, for me to identify, okay, what are they struggling with? You know, how could I help support them in learning how to, you know, just progress with that 8 core skill? I think when you start to bring other things in, people then lose the basics of what's got them or where is going to get them to move and build royalties.
And Anne-Marie, just share with everyone tomorrow what you're going to be covering in the junior partner and club owners session, because this is so relevant, Jo. Thank you for that.
So I'm taking the junior partner mentorship program tomorrow, but it's not just going to be me teaching the theory from stage. I've actually got 3 panellists who are coming up who were all club owners, who are going to be really honest and transparent on stage and talk about how their journey has really helped them when they've had a breakthrough around 1 or 2 of the 8 core skills as club owners. You know, because we think just because we're a club owner, we should know it all. And we don't. Do you know what I mean? We never do. So it's going to really, the girls have got a really good, loads of golden nuggets about how they've looked at that core skill where they've had a blockage and then what they've done to unblock the business and then the impact that it's had. So it'll be good tomorrow.
Amazing. Thank you. Well done, Jo. Okay. Next up, name, how long you've been in Herbalife and where are you on the Nutrition Club career ladder?
Hi guys, Paul Hodder, Global Expansion Team, and I'm part of the club rollout team.
Woo, woo!
I feel like I'm auditioning on Dragon's Den, by the way.
I was thinking blind date.
Talk to me later. So guys, how do you deal with when you're rolling out clubs, club members that don't actually want to move to the new location with their junior partner, and they also, little add-on, they don't want to go online?
Ooh, great question.
That's like a club hack. How to stay in the club.
Duff wants to go for that one. Great question.
So there's a couple of things, and then some of the guys can add on to that. So firstly, when your junior partner is in their junior partner phase, we get them to invite in the area closer to their club where it's going to be. So if they're getting new people in, it's easier for them to move. As soon as someone becomes junior partner, when they bring new people in, we get them to say to the coach, to the club member, I'm just renting a space here for now, but I'm going to be getting my own club in a couple of months' time. Yeah? We, as club owners, are excited for all the club members in that club because they're going to be going to a shiny new club, which has got nicer floor, because our floor is terrible. Yeah? Cleaner tables, all the usual. So we're excited for them because they're going to be moving to a new club. And for us, that was a big, because we have had those problems.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going to...
No,
I get excited about this one because we do really get excited about this.
Yeah.
Also as well, because we've had this in the past, I think most people have. When we've had club members say to us, I don't want to go to that new club, I want to stay here. This is the club I know. We always say to them, we go, so when you first came into the club, you were surrounded by people who made you feel welcome. And they go, yeah, it was great. And I go, it's now your chance to pay that forward. So when you move to your new club, you're going to be part of those people who are going to be there to make the new guys who join feel welcome and feel safe on their journey. And they're like, yeah.
Paul, has that helped?
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well done. Okay, we've got 8 minutes left. Guys, are we enjoying this? Okay, great stuff.
Bonjour, je viens de France, je m'appelle Valérie.
Bonjour,
et je suis
Valérie.
venue avec Mathias qui va traduire.
Oh.
Hello, I'm Val, I'm coming from France.
Ça fait 20 ans que je fais Herbalife et 1 an et demi les Breakfast Club. Avant, j'étais un flipper.
I'm doing Herbalife for 20 years and I have a club since 1 year and a half.
Oh.
Et je suis Get Team.
I'm Get Team.
Give her a cheer. Woo!
Ma question, très simple, est-ce que dans les 3 ou 5 membres par semaine, est-ce que c'est uniquement des membres du club ou est-ce qu'il y a aussi des online?
It's a simple question. When you say 3 new customers, 5 new customers a week, is it only in club or online also?
Great question. Anne-Marie.
It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah. See the way they're talking amongst themselves?
We're just trying to like conflict. No.
Trying to figure out you need to answer in French.
So obviously, as a club member, you want to be bringing people in, but obviously also you want to have an online aspect of your business. So without that online aspect, you're never going to be able to build beyond with your club or help people get referrals and to become ambassadors. So for us, it's 3 to 5 in club or online.
Plus, what you can fall into is, depends on what intention you're setting.
Yeah.
You can find online at times can be easier, whereas if your intention is to fill the club, so you have to remember your customers don't know about online. Do you get me? So you got to decide where your focus is and what your intention is. Ça va?
Yeah.
Ooh, good on you. Didn't know you spoke French.
Me and Cassie, you know.
Yeah, great stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much
Merci.
for asking. Yeah, well done, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Josef from Czech Republic, and I have one question. At this moment, I have a half-year own club with 65 members at this moment, and new training coaches. They have many guinea pigs for training, and at this moment they build fast new members. And they have almost 10 new members, but at this moment they are just in 1 or 2 weeks, and they don't sell products at this moment, only some samples during this. And as I know, 10 members, they need to change to junior partner, but they, but how you work with them to change from trainee without money in pocket at this moment to junior partner. It's in my mind, it's the big change. They need to be 4 or 5 times full shift in club, and
yeah, it's good.
I don't know if you understand or
yeah. We've been through it all. It's good.
Yeah, so I don't know if this helps, but on Sunday I'm actually going to do a section around the career ladder. So what's involved to become a junior partner and what are the requirements, the practical requirements, but I'm also going to talk about the mindset, attitudes and behaviours. So it's not just down to if they have 10, they're able to be promoted. There's other things at the club owner that you need to be looking for. So I'm really going to deep dive that on Sunday, that hopefully might help you and give you some golden nuggets or breakthroughs.
They don't have at this moment the knowledge for junior partner.
Yeah.
They don't do all these 20 steps checklist. So I think for them it's very fast to work with them. To 10 or more, 20 customers, or they can't invite more customers after 10. Okay. This is my main question.
Yeah. Go on, Duff.
So, do they want to be a club owner?
They want, but at this moment they can change their job, or they can take a part-time job. It's I think they need money for payment, but at this moment they don't have. How work with them maybe for 2-3 months from this.
Yeah.
If they are fast, but they need to wait for money, and they take the decision for this big change, I think.
They also need to make sure that they've ticked everything off on the trainee practical checklist, and that'll take time. sharing the story on the ambassador call, all of those.
Yes,
you know, all of
any
those
time,
things.
3 months,
So
I think.
Yeah,
minimum.
yeah.
3-4 months. But
Easy.
if they have at least 3-4 months, more than 10 customers, and they are just training coaches, it's possible, or it isn't possible?
I think it's a great problem you've got
Yes.
there. And if-
I know it's a better problem than I had, but
Yeah. Do you know what, though,
mention
just
open
so we
that
can
shift.
get through the other questions, I think on Sunday, hopefully,
Yes.
you'll really enjoy my section because I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you requirements, practical. I'm also going to talk about the mindset, who are you looking for to become junior partners, and that hopefully will give you some clarity. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Okay, maybe 2 more questions.
Well, hello there.
Hi, Lars.
Hi, Lars.
We love you,
Hello.
Lars.
Oh, thank you. Love you too. So, Anne-Marie, maybe you will be proud because we threw the papers away and we start working with the pathway tracker and the club owner tracker really hard. We
Well
find
done.
the blockages,
Well done.
we see everything, where the problems are, and then we see if you are full-time, you need to go to 40 new club members a month within your club, 2 trainees, and 1 supervisor. So then we see when we pop 2 trainees a month, we put them in this group. All our clubs does the same. We put them all in the WhatsApp groups. It's just WhatsApp group with the trainee coaches to communicate. I guess everybody does that. But what we see is that if a trainee coach doesn't want to be a trainee coach no more, you pop 24 in a year, some stop. It's average, it's the numbers, that it builds like this, how you say it in English? I can't come on the word. You build this trend that, oh, she quits. Maybe if I don't know, I'm sure I can do it. The trust gets gone a little bit. How do you communicate, or how do you keep people motivated that if they start like, I don't have like 2 starters in a month, some coaches, they just feel good being a trainee coach, but you know, you understand my question?
So can I just clarify? I was going to ask Anne-Marie, because we've trained on this before. Is the question, Lars, if you've got a trainee coach who's in this group, they've built a customer base, but then they decide not to be a trainee coach anymore, what it creates for the rest of the group? So how would you handle that? Is that the question?
The trainee coach doesn't want to do the shifts anymore. It's get like the pressure is off, and it doesn't feel like they thought it would feel, because they need to work, they need to do their hours, or they can be trainee coach. And when one quits, another trainee coach, oh, my mate quits, maybe it's not something for me as well. And we try to manage it, and we try to work with it and communicate the right stuff, but we see that it's a trend that breaks down sometimes in retention, not only with the trainees, but also with the club members in club. So I was thinking, is the WhatsApp group with the trainees right? Or do you put them in a little bit later when they're more serious? Or
Okay, so there's a couple of things there. I think the first thing is when you do promote people to trainee coach, is they're clear what's involved. So when you're activating them, and Debbie Ashcroft is going to cover this on Sunday, maybe listen to, yes, she uses the checklist, but how she sets people up, the communication. I think the next thing is, Lars, is what I loved about the career ladder is it's there to protect relationships for you as the club owner and also the customers through to club owner. So if you do have someone who moves to trainee coach and then maybe they decide, listen, hey, this isn't for me, circumstances have changed or whatever, then they have the opportunity to go back to being a club member. It's there to protect. However, if it was me as the club owner and you start to see that trend, I'd be looking at the blockage of, okay, well, let's look at maybe why are they wanting to move away? Is it maybe, you know, the activation? We need to work on that with communication and expectations. Is it maybe we need to work on helping putting money in the pockets that they're not receiving that income, because people will move away if there's no reward for it, because they are putting hours in. Does that make sense, Lars? So I think to answer the question, it's a couple of things. Looking at maybe finding out why are they stepping back. And then once you figure that out, looking at a couple of things, maybe activation, or do we need to work on putting, you know, money in the pocket? But as for adding trainees into a team group, my personal thing would be is I would activate them, get them going before we put them in a group, because sometimes putting them into a team group too early, it blows people's heads off. They get overwhelmed. Can anyone relate to that?
Yeah.
Has that helped?
It's perfect.
Oh, okay. Well done. Okay. One more question. Is that okay? One more? Last one?
Hi, thanks, and thanks to you guys for everything you do. I'm here to represent probably a question. It's similar to Lars. I'm English.
First of all, who are you?
Sorry, I'm Nick. I live in Spain, and I've come over with a big group from Spain. We're all different organisations, but we made the effort to come over and be here. And I'm trying to sort of get one question that will help us all. So we're all kind of a year to two in, or less than that. And I think one of the biggest things we're finding is keeping and motivating the trainee coaches, which is kind of what Lars was just asked. But one of the things I think you said before is you do a training call or a weekly call. The question really is what tips would you give to keep them motivated, interested, getting out there and doing the numbers? Is there any kind of special training you do in the first 2 or 3 months with them, or any tips?
Duff?
I think it's just down to following the activation process and then reactivation process and having we have regular one-to-ones.
So reactivation after their first 10 members sitting down again and the list. And
just keeping in contact, because you can't force anyone to do anything. It's got to come from within them. And it's just to lead on to what Lars said. If someone is going to leave the business because the friend did, how long were they going to stay in anyway? You know, so it is difficult, but we're not people's managers. All we can do is just keep in touch with them, make sure that
it's a mindset change too. Because how long have you been a Herbalife? Did you say?
So I've been 7 years.
Yeah. So you've come from a culture where you got someone in, you signed them up, and we're all going to get to president's team, and hopefully most of them might get to 2-5 if you're lucky, and then they disappear. You've got an opportunity here to funnel people through. So you don't owe them anything. You're giving them an opportunity for them to deselect themselves.
Yeah.
And if you do your 5 a week and you follow the process, eventually the people will emerge.
Yeah.
Do you get me?
Yeah.
I do.
So if you focus, because we always joke, don't we, with the team, it's like if you're worried about the people who aren't doing anything, it means you're not bringing new people through.
Yeah.
That's where the 5 a week comes in, because not everyone's going to go all the way to president's team.
Flip your power to...
Keep looking for the new people.
Otherwise, we get really attached to the people and we start...
And you'll waste your time with that. It sounds a bit harsh, but you've got everything. They have got everything they need in your club to build a business. And if it's not for them, it's probably not for them.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Amazing. Guys, we've run out of time, but the 3 at the back will answer your questions privately, so thank you so much. Okay, give our panel a massive round of applause.
Get them off, yeah.
Okay, so to wrap it up for tonight, we hope that you've really enjoyed our first Active World Team School. We wanted it to be real, we wanted it to be open, we wanted it to be honest. This weekend, you are going to learn all the technical stuff from start and all the way to finish. But I want you to go into this weekend and I want you to focus on one thing. Our job is to make a difference. Our job is to find people who want to help us to grow this. But before it comes down to the action, it starts with our mindset. And the mindset is our own development. And no matter where you are on your journey, including me and Dan, it's about every single day getting that little bit better. A little bit better, up in your skill set, work in your mindset. And in this model, you've got to be open to move. If we walk around with a mask on thinking that, we're in an environment where, we've got to have figured it out, trust me, you will get stuck, because we got stuck for a long time at Millionaire Team. But even when we come into Breakfast Budget Club for the first year, we were stuck because we thought we should have figured it out. So embrace the learning and remember, it's about progress. It's not perfection. If you need to work on your communication skills, invest in your time and your learning. And think about when you go back into your clubs on Monday about what are you doing on a daily basis where you can compress time, where you can work smarter. If that is something, that is a thought that is holding you back, that you don't have enough time or you feel overwhelmed and maybe you're procrastinating, then do a research and start reading about it. Atomic Habits was a book that changed everything for it. And also you heard the guys talk about tracking and me. It was not natural for me to track. Dan was a banker and he really loved the numbers. Remember, I was activity. I was the doer. I could build it. I could excite people and bring them in. But the shift into becoming the leader who can duplicate profitable clubs and still, stay in production was when I started to, yes, work smart with time, but look at what did my business look like, embrace when it talked to me, and then action the things I needed to work on. That was the shift. Everyone get me on that? And then the last thing I'm going to say to you is this. Out of everything that we teach you this weekend, it's all going to come back to this. Filling the funnel with 5 new customers a week, moving them along the pathway, working referrals and creating supervisors, and finding people who want to be business builders and duplicate clubs. So to be part of the rollout team, we need to skill up. But it's about mastering the basics and doing them over and over again. Guys, welcome to your weekend Breakfast Budget Club at the Wild 2 School. Let us hear you cheer! I am going to hand you back to Grace and Gav. Thank you!
Absolutely incredible. Whose mind is blown? Whose mind's blown? Anyone's mind blown? Just mine? Okay, so absolutely incredible section. And one last time, let's hear it for Claire Fox helping and the gang. Okay, so it was loads of golden nuggets in there. So Grace, what did you take from the section?
So I took away, about the elevator. Yeah. And I was talking to Catherine Hayden about this the other day, and I actually visualised myself, Gav, pressing the button to go up and down throughout the day when you're speaking to different people.
Sometimes it's like that, the more you get into it, and, as your business grows, you've got to be ready to do that. For me, it was just listening to the guys on the ground, with real life challenges, sharing them, and listening to the people who've been there as well and giving those tips. So who's enjoyed their leadership training? I mean, to be honest with you, that was pretty rubbish. Yeah? Who's enjoyed the leadership training? Come on. Now that's more like it.
And that is incredible because we have got the most exciting news. Play the VT. the tickets are on sale for your leadership royalty boot camp in June. So just give me a little click, Gav. So the qualification to go to this event, yeah? So level 1 is your entry qualification, and you can see the dates there. I'm on the committee for this event, right? And the things that you are going to get as you go from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4 is absolutely insane. And the leadership training is going to be immense. So who is coming to the Royalty Bootcamp leadership training?
Let's go!
Woo!
So gang, remember, you've got the QR code up there if you are eligible. If you qualify within this slide, make sure you take a scan and make sure you get your ticket now. Okay, so that brings us up to our agenda for tomorrow, okay? Who's excited for tomorrow? That's what we like to hear. So, 9 a.m. We got some fans over here. Yeah, 9 a.m. The JP and club owners, doors open, okay? And everybody else, so if you've got team here, it's from 12 p.m. And then we got a party, because there ain't no party like a Herbalife party, at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So it's going to be an amazing day. So after this, there is a networking and drinks in the Dillon's Lounge, which is outside, turn right. And then I'm sure there'll be people out there directing us if you're unsure. So gang, that brings us to the end of this amazing leadership event. Thank you very much for coming. Well done for qualifying, and we'll see you tomorrow.